would you say you do here?
Ever wanted to smash a printer with your friends while gangsta rap blasts in the background? Of course you have. Office Space is the ultimate anti-corporate battle cry. Written and directed by Mike Judge, the twisted genius behind Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. When it premiered in 1999, the world wasn't ready. The box office numbers were meh, critics were lukewarm, but slowly Office Space became the secret handshake of every frustrated cubicle dweller. This isn't just a movie, it's a survival manual for anyone who's ever been asked to stay late, fill out a pointless form, or attend a mandatory fun meeting. Today, we're breaking down the 10 funniest scenes in Office Space, playing the clip first and then spilling the hilarious, weird, and sometimes tragic stories of how they were made. This is the definitive deep dive, so grab your stapler, channel your inner Peter Gibbons, and let's burn this place down. Metaphorically. Mostly.
You apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I forgot.
Gary Cole's portrayal of Lumbergh is so good it hurts. Literally. His monotone mmmkay is the sound of your soul leaving your body. Mike Judge based the character on a real boss who could casually ruin your weekend with a single sentence. Cole actually tested several different voices, a higher-pitched one, a nasal one, before landing on that unsettlingly calm, syrup-slow drawl that made millions of office workers flinch. And here's the kicker, they filmed multiple takes just to get the sound of the coffee mug clink exactly right. Judge wanted every detail to feel real. The fluorescent lighting, the beige cubicles that looked like they were designed by someone who hated joy, even the slightly dirty carpet. Crew members said it felt like working in an actual office and triggered flashbacks to their own soul-crushing day jobs. This scene is corporate horror in slow motion, and it sets the perfect stage for the rebellion to come.
It's the group harder than an erection that shows no affection. They wanna ban us on Capitol Hill, 'cause it's die, motherfuckers, die, motherfuckers.
This is the catharsis scene. Cinematic therapy for anyone who's ever wanted to throw their work laptop out a window. Judge said he wrote it after a particularly bad day wrestling with a real printer that refused to cooperate. The props department actually had to rig the printer to break apart easily, because apparently real printers are built like tanks. Ajay Naidu, Samir, got so into it that he injured his leg during one of the kicks, and they kept that take in the final cut. To keep the energy up, the crew blasted still on set so the actors could stay in rhythm. Judge said this was the single most cathartic day of the entire shoot, joking that it doubled as therapy for the cast and crew. Fans loved it so much they've recreated the scene in real life, from viral videos to actual corporate printer smash parties. And yes, Geto Boys' streaming numbers spiked after this movie. It was a win for everyone except the printer.
Why don't you just go by Mike instead of Michael?
No way. Why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
David Herman literally risked it all for this role. He had to get himself fired from Mad TV just so he could take the part. The legendary ass clown line, totally improvised. Herman said it was something his girlfriend called people at the time, and Judge loved it so much he kept it in. The improv was so funny that the crew couldn't keep it together. They ruined multiple takes by laughing. Judge said the first time he heard Herman say it, he knew they had a line destined to live forever on dorm room posters. Even Michael Bolton himself eventually weighed in, saying he thought it was hilarious, but admitted it did make fan interactions pretty awkward for a few years.
Okay, Milton. And, oh no, it's not okay, because if they make me, if they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire.
Stephen Root is a legend for what he did with Milton. He pitched his voice slightly higher, mumbled all his lines, and stayed in character between takes, wandering the set muttering to himself like a ghost. It weirded out the extras, but it made Milton one of the most believable characters in the movie. The stapler? Prop department magic. Swingline didn't even make a red stapler at the time, so they painted one fire engine red. After the movie blew up on DVD, demand for red staplers skyrocketed so hard that Swingline actually released an official red model, which promptly sold out for months. Milton's storyline is a quiet, ticking time bomb throughout the film, and Root said he loved that Milton was basically the working man's revenge fantasy, the guy everyone ignores until he snaps and takes the whole building with him.
Deeper and deeper, way down. Your concern about your job melts away.
This scene is funny, but it carries a tragic bit of trivia. The actor playing the hypnotherapist, Mike McShane, passed away shortly after filming. Judge said he decided to leave the scene exactly as it was, because it gave Peter's transformation a strange, almost supernatural permanence. like the hypnosis really did work forever. Ron Livingston, who played Peter, said he didn't even have to act relaxed. He literally just zoned out on set, lying there like he had no worries in the world. The montage that follows, gutting a fish, knocking down the wall to let in sunlight, ignoring calls, was partially improvised. Livingston came up with the idea of the wall knockdown himself, saying it symbolized Peter literally opening up his world.
Pack up your stuff and move it down there.
But no,
that would be terrific.
I was
okay.
I could stay.
This gag came straight out of Mike Judge's own work history. He said he was moved 4 times in 6 months at one job, each time closer to a copier that never stopped running. The art department kept a running chart of where Milton's desk ended up, making sure each new location looked more depressing than the last. Stephen Root leaned into the physicality, stooping a little more each time to make Milton seem like he was slowly collapsing under the weight of corporate nonsense. By the time he hits the basement, he looks like a man who's been defeated by life. And yet, he's still clutching that stapler like it's Excalibur. Fun fact, the basement scenes were shot in a real disused storage room. Cast members swore they heard rats during filming, which just made Milton's misery feel that much more authentic.
And I don't need 37 pieces of Flair to do it. All right, there's my Flair, okay? And this is me expressing myself, okay? There it is.
Jennifer Aniston actively sought out this role to get away from her squeaky clean Friends image. She said that playing Joanna was deeply cathartic because she had worked restaurant jobs before and had been lectured about smiling more. The Flair buttons were all custom made by the props department, loaded with inside jokes from the crew. Everything from fake band logos to weird slogans. Mike Judge, who plays Joanna's boss Stan, improvised a bunch of his lines to get a real reaction out of Aniston. At one point, she laughed so hard they had to restart the whole take. This scene became so iconic that actual restaurants, including TGI Fridays, started scaling back their Flair policies because customers wouldn't stop quoting the movie to their staff. This opening montage is a masterclass in visual storytelling. No dialogue, no exposition, just pure frustration. Judge said he wanted the audience to feel, in their bones, that Peter's life was going nowhere. Filming took place during a brutal Texas heatwave. The extras were told to drive as slowly as legally possible, which infuriated actual commuters passing by. The old man extra playing the Walker speed demon reportedly started racing Peter between takes just for fun, and he won every time. Judge has said this was his homage to Chaplin and Buster Keaton, a little slice of silent film comedy at the start of a modern workplace farce.
Check out Channel 9, check out this chick!
Damn it! Lawrence, can't you just pretend like we can't hear each other through the wall?
Oh, sorry, man. Ann over there or something?
No, but...
Diedrich Bader, who played Lawrence, went completely method for this role. Judge told him, "Think of the chillest guy you've ever met. Now give him a mullet and a drawl." Bader showed up with that glorious wig, the mustache, and a voice that sounded like it had been marinated in cheap beer and barbecue smoke. The 2 chicks at the same timeline was total improvisation. Judge said they had to pause filming because the crew couldn't stop laughing. Bader's delivery was so deadpan, it felt like you were actually eavesdropping on some guy who's been living next door for way too long. Bader has said Lawrence was one of his favorite roles ever. Simple, hilarious, and strangely wise. Fans still quote his lines as the ultimate "don't take life too seriously" advice.
I asked for Mai Tai, and they brought me a pina colada. And I said, no salt for the margarita, but it had salt on it.
This fiery ending wasn't in the original cut. The studio pushed for a bigger finale after test audiences demanded to see Inatek suffer. Judge agreed, and they staged a mix of practical effects, miniatures, and controlled pyrotechnics to pull it off safely. Stephen Root said it was deeply satisfying to see Milton get the final word. Crew members joked that Milton looked happier than anyone else on set that day, sipping his drink in the Jamaica scene. Root even improvised some of his lines about the salt on the glass, which made it feel more real. Milton's beachside ending turned him into a folk hero for every underpaid, overworked office drone who ever dreamed of burning it all down and running away to paradise. And there you have it, 10 scenes that define office space and expose the madness of corporate life with a smirk. This movie has everything: printer carnage, Flair-related rage, hypnotic apathy, and one very determined man with a stapler. So, which scene is your favorite? Are you Team Printer Beatdown or Team Burn It All Down? Drop a comment, smash that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the movies that shaped our wild sense of humor. This is Studio Scoop, punching the clock, heading home. And no, we will not be coming in on Saturday.